Hey guys, good evening. Wonderful to see you. So, Neha, welcome. Tarun, welcome. Marihant, Nilesh, welcome. Welcome. Shane, welcome. Boss, Jane, Sahab, good evening. Ashish, good evening. Subhashri, good evening. Zakir, good evening. Yokesh, good evening. Siddiqui, good evening. Prachi, good evening, Prachi. Um, Neha, good evening. Abhishek, Om, welcome, all of you. Rajram, good evening. So a quick check, a quick mic testing. So if you are able to hear me, please type hi. Please type hi in the comment box if you're able to hear me, so that I will know that you're able to hear me. Good evening, Sabina. Good evening. Thank you, Bas. Thank you. So if you're able to hear me, please type hi in the chat box. Thank you, Mahendra. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Super. So, guys, welcome to day one of our leadership development webinar. So, thank you all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Om. Thank you very much. So, in this session is for 3 days. Every day we're going to meet at 7 o'clock. We're going to explore leadership. Okay. So, thank you very much for joining in today's session. I hope you will learn something from this session today. Okay. Now, um, about me, quick introduction about me. Most of you may know me. Some of you may not know me. But if this is the first time, I'm a servant leader. That is what my nature is, and that's what we want to learn over this week. So I'm a servant leader or a supportive leader. I take delight in helping people. That's what a servant leader is. Yeah, I believe in serving people, and I'm a leadership and a life coach. That's what my profession is, and my expertise involve helping people with their emotions, right? And I'll be happy to connect with you. We have sent you WhatsApp messages for this event. You have the link for my YouTube channel, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So I request you to connect with me, follow me on LinkedIn, subscribe to the channel in YouTube and Instagram, so that you will get updates from me constantly every time I publish a video. Right. So this program is being brought to you by Pantech Solutions and What is Way community. So we are very happy to help you in this process. So now, the agenda of the session, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about leadership. Okay. And today is day one. Today's agenda is what is leadership. So we're going to talk about what is leadership today. And then, 15 minutes, we'll have a Q&A session, or 10 minutes, we'll have a Q&A session. And the last 5-10 minutes, we'll have a small announcement. The announcement is not going to be so big, but we'll spend most of the time in learning about what is leadership, and then we'll spend time in Q&A. I'll answer your questions, right? So I request you to have your notepad pen ready, and know most of the concepts which I'm going to talk to you today are not new. They're all that for some of you it may be new. You may not have heard about it in the past, but for most of you, you may have heard about it. But whatever it is, right? Try to implement it. Learning is all about that. Knowledge makes no sense. You know a lot of stuff, there's no use of it. Even if you know a little, what is important is you implement what you know. That is what is very important, right? So we want to help you, teach you a lot of stuff. We are doing that through our community. Through Pantech, we're doing that. Through What Is Way, we're doing that. But then, at a small level, take baby steps to implement whatever you're learning through us or learning from us. Okay? So, let's go into the topic, guys. So, who is a leader? So, before we understand what is leadership, let's understand who is a leader. Yeah? A leader is a human being. Guys, I'm sorry, we have started, and I have not made this announcement. We have started, and I'm not going to look at the chat, and I won't be responding to the chat for the next 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes, I'll be only talking to you, right? It's going to be a monologue, so you have to listen to me. After the 30 minute in the Q&A session, we can have a conversation. Okay, right? Subha. So please don't comment in the chat box because I won't be able to, I won't be seeing the chat. I'll be only looking at the cam and I'll be presenting to you. All right, Subha. So who is the leader? Yeah, as a human being, right? Our greatness lies not so much in being able to remake the world. That is the myth of the atomic age, as in being able to remake ourselves. So this is what's told by Mahatma Gandhi. So what he said is this, right? A leader is not a person who changes the world. So in a simple term, if I have to paraphrase what Mahatma Gandhi said, yeah, he said leadership is not about changing the world. No. Leadership is about changing oneself or changing yourself. So if I change myself, if I'm able to remake myself, recreate myself, that means I'm a leader. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example today, and you will hope you'll understand what leader is, who is a leader. But then this is who a leader is. A leader is a person who is not somebody who's trying to change the world. A leader is a person who changes himself. That person is the leader. That's what Mahatma Gandhi says. Okay, now what is leadership? Okay, John Maxwell says, John Maxwell is the leadership authority, is the number one leadership authority. And John Maxwell says leadership is influence. Okay, leadership is influence. And Ken Blanchard, he's again a leadership authority. He says leadership is not about you, it is about investing in the growth of others. Yeah, so Ken Blanchard has this wonderful training program called Situational Leadership, and he says leadership is not about you. Leadership is about investing in the growth of others. Okay, and Peter Duckner says effective leadership is not about making speeches or being liked. Leadership is defined by the results, not attribute. Yeah. So if somebody is a great orator, if somebody is able to present so much, face a huge audience and talk, Peter Drucker says he's not a leader. He says a leadership is defined by the result, yeah, what the person does or how much change the person is able to bring out. So all this means one thing: leadership is influence. So let me ask you a question. How can you influence somebody? Right now, all of us are leaders. I'm telling you, you are right now a leader. If you have somebody who listens to you, even if it's a small group, if your friend circle listens to you, okay, if your siblings listen to you, or if your mom, dad listens to you in making a decision, or your neighbor listens to you, right? If somebody or your boss listens to you, or your team members listens to you, your company listens to you, if people listen to you and they follow what you do or what you say, then you're actually a leader right now. So leadership is influence. Now everybody is a leader. Even the good, bad, ugly, everybody is a leader. Adolf Hitler is a leader. Mussolini is a leader. At the same time, Gandhi is a leader, or was a leader, let's say, right? Good people, bad people, all of us, everyone here. If you're thinking you're not a leader, I'm telling you, you are a leader. Already you're a leader. But the question you have to ask yourself is how many people I'm influencing? Okay. And how am I influencing people? If you're influencing people in the right way, then you're a good leader. If you're influencing people in a wrong way, let's say you're telling your friend, okay, this is just an example. Okay. If you're telling your friend, come, let's go for a drink, let's have a party, let's go have a drink, right? Now you decide whether drinking is bad or good, all right? They call drinking is bad, right? Or drinking and driving is bad. Let's say, let me put it like that, right? Some of you may like drinking, so I don't want to spoil your mood. Now, if your friend is saying, "Come after a drink," your friends come, let's go for a drive. Now, if your friend convinces you to drink and drive, then your friend has influenced you. He's a leader, and if you're ready to follow his orders, or if you're ready to follow what your friend says, he has influenced you in a wrong way. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, if your friend is able to influence you, then your friend is a leader. Or if you're able to influence someone, then you are a leader, right? And if you're able to influence somebody for a good cause or do good thing, then you are a good leader. And if you're influencing somebody in a bad way, then you're a bad leader. But the point here is you are already a leader. And I want to remind you this: leadership is not a title. Leadership is not a position. Yeah, if you think I will graduate, get into a job, when I become a manager, when I become a CEO, then I'm a leader. No, it's not that. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is a character. Leader is a person. Now, you can either influence people in the right way or you can influence people in a wrong way. Let me give you an example, right? Let's take Mahatma Gandhi. Since I have, I quoted what Gandhi said in the beginning, now let's talk about Gandhiji. Now, Gandhiji was he was in South Africa. Now, he was a successful advocate. He was a successful advocate, but then one day he was thrown out of the train. He was minding his own business. He was a successful advocate. Even in the train, he was going to see his client, right? He had his wonderful life. Until that time, he was not a leader. But the moment when they threw him out of the train, that though he had a valid first class ticket, yeah, when he was thrown out of the train, that made him think. Yeah, that's the first time. I don't know whether it was the first time he might have thought about it, but he might have ignored it. But that was the time. Now something happened to him. Something struck him. He felt discriminated. He felt racial discrimination. Until that time, yeah, he did not feel the pain of it. Yeah, he was not having the conviction that racial discrimination is wrong. But when the moment when he was thrown out of the train, though he was having the first class ticket, that is when something happened to him. That is when his convictions told him, man, this is wrong. And that is the moment a leader was born. If that incident had not happened, Gandhiji might not have come to India. He might not have led the freedom struggle. All the leaders would not have seen him as the leader of the freedom struggle or freedom struggle movement, right? And who knows, we might not have got the independence. Whether you like the independence or you don't like the independence, or whether you like Gandhiji or you don't like Gandhiji, I'm not talking about that here. What I'm trying to tell you is, what is leadership? How a leader is created. Yeah. So now a leader is a person who influences. How does he influence? He influences people because he is able to inspire people. How he is able to inspire people? He's able to inspire people because he's passionate about something. And why he is passionate? What is passion? Passion is something which you are ready to die for. Yeah, 73 years before, people were passionate about getting freedom for India, and they were ready to die for that freedom struggle. They're passionate about freedom. They want to see India free, right? So when you have passion, passion is something which you're ready to die for that cause. What is your passion? I'm not asking you to die, but you have that kind of willpower, right? So when you have the passion, how do you get the passion? You get the passion through the vision. And how do you get the vision? You get vision through conviction. And how do you get the conviction? You get the conviction when you have a purpose in life. So a leader is someone who has purpose. Now, when that day when Gandhiji was thrown out of the train, he got a purpose. And his purpose was to see India free. His purpose was to fight against racial discrimination. His purpose was, his conviction was that racial discrimination is wrong. Enslaving somebody because of racial discrimination, because you're black and white, yeah, if you're being discriminated, he felt that is wrong and something has to be done. So he took that as a purpose. So that's the reason why he came to India. And when he came to India, he wanted to see India free. That was the vision he had. Because of the vision he had, he was passionate about that vision. Because he was passionate about the vision, he was able to inspire people. Because he was able to inspire people, he had influence. Now, the question here is, right? Whether your vision is wrong, whether your vision is right, doesn't matter. If you're able to influence people, then you are a leader. If even if one person is following you, even if one person is following you, even if one person is listening to you, then you are a leader. A leader do not manipulate. A leader will not look for followers, right? Now, in the beginning of this session, I told you, please follow me on LinkedIn, please subscribe to my channel, please follow me on Instagram. Now, as a leader, even if you don't follow me on Instagram, even if you don't like me on, follow me on LinkedIn, even if you don't subscribe to me on YouTube, right? I will do my work of inspiring people because I'm a leader. I'm passionate about training. I'm passionate about motivating people, right? So my stance doesn't change, but when I do it constantly, that's going to change you. So when you like me, you know when you're influenced through me, when you're inspired through me, you start following me. A leader is not somebody who goes after followers, who does not try to create followers, but people naturally would follow him, follow that person, right? Why? Because they're able to influence them, right? Now, if you're not a leader, the flip side is, if you're not a leader, you will become a manipulator. You understand what is a manipulator? Who is a manipulator? A manipulator speaks lies. A manipulator tricks you, right? So if you're not a leader, if you're not a person of conviction, conviction is a belief. If you're not a person of purpose, purpose is what do you want to live for? Yeah, what are you living for? And vision is what you want to achieve. And passion is what drives you. Are you ready to die for it? And when you have this, you're a leader. When you don't have it, you become a manipulator. And when you become a manipulator, you use people, you abuse people. Those people are called as boss. Not every boss is a leader, yeah, but every boss can be a manager. So if you're a boss, don't be a manager, be a leader. Inspire people, influence people, right? Now, how can you build your influence? How can you help people, right? The four things I want to tell you. There's a lot of things you can do, but four things which I want to tell you how you can, build your influence. First one, build rapport, connect with people. It all starts with people. You need people. So don't try to take something from them, or when you're when you're connecting with people, no, connect with them with the intention to help them, with the intention to serve them, right? Connect with people so that you can influence them. So how can you influence? You can influence people only if you inspire them. If you're an inspiration to somebody, people will follow you. When they follow you, they do what you tell them to do, right? And you have to be a role model. So first one you have to do is build rapport. Very important thing. Build rapport, connect with people, grow your relationship with people. You want to have relationship. You want to be a leader. Yeah, people are very important. Second, become an active listener. If you are a leader, you should have the listening ear, right? A leader is not a transmitter. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm only transmitting. Why? Because I don't have the facility to listen to this. It's a one-way conversation. But a leader is somebody who listens, right? It's not a transmitter. He does not do only speaking. Rather, he connects with people and he listens to people. Okay. So if you want to be a leader, if you want to influence people, connect with people. Number one, genuine connection. Don't connect with people for the sake of getting something from them, manipulating them, for the sake of helping them, right? For the sake of building them, for the sake of bringing the best out of them, for the sake of developing them, connect with people, build rapport, right? And listen to people. Have the ears to listen if you want to be a leader. Third thing is commit. Commit to your team, commit to the welfare of people. It's a commitment. Right? Just think about it. Now, I'm just picking Gandhiji again, right? Now, why did he wear that dress? What is the reason he has to wear that costume? Yeah. Now, when he came from South Africa, he went on a tour across India. And when he came back from the tour, he wore dhotis. And they asked him, why are you changing this costume? And he said, majority of India lies in the village. And this is the costume of the people in the village. And if I have to identify myself with my people, if I have to be their leader, if I have to serve them, right? If I have to be one with them, yeah, now I have to do something. If people have to believe in me, if I should come across as trustworthy to them, right, then I should commit myself to them. I can't be a different person and understand people. I have to empathize. I'm going to talk about that later. Then commit to your team. If you're a leader, see, I tell you from my personal example. So when I was in, I've seen managers, a lot of managers in my career. So there was one, when I was working in telecom, there was one problem. Okay, um, the network went down, and when the network went down, the client asked for RCA. There was escalation. The client was fighting, shouting, and they asked, "What is the mistake? What happened?" And when they asked what happened, what is the mistake? What? There was a manager in our team, and that manager, he said, This is the guy. So he pointed at one of the guy who ran a wrong, code, wrong command, who find a wrong command in the gateway, and he pointed at that fellow and said, "He's the one who's responsible. He made the mistake." Right now, that is not leadership. A leader is someone who puts himself in front of the fire. Yeah, I think you might have heard Dr. Kalam's story. You can go to YouTube and you can watch that. There is one interview which Dr. Kalam gave, Dr. Abdul Kalam, and when Dr. Abdul Kalam was trying to launch the PSLV satellite for the first time, yeah, Dr. Kalam was a chief engineer. But then when the countdown started, there was an error in the countdown. But Dr. Kalam, since he was the chief of that operation, he said, "Go ahead, launch the rocket." They launched the rocket. But the rocket, instead of putting the satellite in the orbit, Dr. Kalam says the rocket put the satellite in the Indian Ocean. Now imagine this. Those days, India was developing. Those days, India was trying to establish itself in the international arena, trying to prove. Now, Dr. Kalam, being the mission head, you know, uh, he gave a go ahead, but then the satellite mission was a failure. The rocket did not go up. It did not launch the satellite in the orbit. Rather, it put the satellite in the Indian Ocean. Yeah. Now there was a mission head. Yeah, under whom Dr. Kalam was working. You know what happened? This gentleman, he went to the press and he faced the press and told the press, "Gentlemen, we failed today, and I take responsibility for the failure. I take the responsibility for the failure. Leave my team members. They have worked very hard for this." Yeah. And he took the responsibility as a leader. But the next time, and he gave Dr. Kalam to work on the mission again, but he took the blame, right? But the next time, when they launched the rocket again, the rocket was placed in the orbit and the mission was successful. But when the mission was successful, he took the back seat and he put Dr. Kalam in the front and said, "He's the man who made it possible." And he made him talk to the reporters. That's a leader. That is what is leadership. Yeah, the person now in my company who took, instead of taking the blame, instead of protecting the team, yeah, pointed at the team member and said, "He's the guy who made the mistake. Fire him. Do something to him. Leave me alone." That guy is a manager. He's not a leader. Yeah. So leadership is about your commitment to your team. Are you committed? Are you committed to your school team, school cricket team, or football team? Yeah. Even though you may not be a captain of the team, even though you may not be a vice captain, but then are you showing commitment to the team? Are you showing commitment to the task? Then you're a leader. Yeah. So the fourth one is a leader. If you want to have influence, be focused. Set an example. Be a role model to people. Don't get distracted from your vision. Don't get distracted from your goal. Day in, day out, be focused on your goal. Right? It's four things. If you want to be a man of influence, leadership is about influence. Nothing less, nothing more. That's what John Maxwell says. And that's what everybody says. Yeah. Leadership is influence. So, four things to influence people. One, connect with them, build rapport, build relationship. Two, listen. Don't be a person who speaks all the time. Be a listener. The more you speak, you are missing out the secret. Okay. And third thing, commit. Arun Prasad, Arun Prasad. First, listen, Arun Prasad. Forget the attendance. Attendance are not very important. Yeah, I told people not to put use the chat during the session. There's going to be no attendance, Arun. Yeah, please learn first. Attendance you can ask later. Learning is important, Arun, not attendance. Right? Please listen. And the fourth one, gentlemen, be focused. Okay. So now, what are the qualities of leader? Because leaders shape the nation, communities, and organizations. Okay. So what are the qualities you need to have? There are a lot of qualities you need to have, but these are the four qualities which I think is very important. First quality, you should be a man of vision. You should be a man. When I say man, ladies, don't mistake me. Okay. You should be a man and woman of vision. Yeah. A leader is the one, John Maxwell said, a leader is the one who knows the way, who goes the way, and who shows the way. Let me repeat it. A leader is the one who knows the way, who goes the way, he goes first, and then he shows the way. That is why, if you look at leaders, if you look at the statues of leaders, they always point, the figure like this. What is that saying? A leader is not someone who says, that's the way you go. No. A leader is a person who knows the way, he goes first, and then he says, follow me. Right? A manager is someone who may know the way, may not know the way, but then he says, you go first, I will follow. That guy is a manager. A leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way first, and then says, this is the way, you walk in it, follow me. Right? Now, if you want to be a leader, you should have vision. If you don't have a vision, you become a follower. Okay? So what is the difference between a follower and a leader? A leader is visionary. A leader has a vision, and people follow the person. Who follows? People without vision follow the leader. They buy in the vision and they follow the leader. Right? But when you have a vision, then you become the leader. Okay? A leader is someone who knows the way, shows the way, and does not say you go. They go first, and then they say follow. This is what Napoleon Bonaparte did. You know, the fantastic thing about Napoleon is Napoleon does not, he did not hesitate to make his hand dirty. Napoleon was ready to make his hand dirty. He will always do the things first. He was always on the front line. Yeah, he would always go to the soldiers at the ground level, the lowest guy, ranking guy. He would go and he would talk to them. He would work with them. He will do things with them. Why? Two things. One, he was building rapport. He was showing that I am a leader, but then I'm one of you. And he was ready to make his hand dirty. And three, when he did that, he knew what was happening at the ground. A lot of times, leaders at the top, they don't understand what is happening at the ground. They don't understand what is happening at the bottom level of the pyramid, because they are the top and they don't know the problem people at the lower level are facing. But if you want to be a leader, yeah, you have to get out of your seat, get down from your seat, come down to the bottom. That's why I said be a servant leader. You have to be a servant leader. If you want to help your team members, if you want to help people, you have to come down. Napoleon was that. Gandhiji was that. Gandhiji could be a transformation leader as well, but he was ready to serve. Yeah, and he was always at the front line. He marched, Gandhi march or whatever thing. He was in the front line. That is how our freedom leaders were. They were in the front line. So as a leader, they had vision. They know the way. They showed the way, and they went the way first. And the second thing, second good quality of a leader is integrity. Now, if you don't have integrity, you become a manipulator. And when you become a manipulator, you will lie. And when you lie, you cheat people, you use people, you'll abuse people. A leader does not do that. So the basic quality of a leader, second most important quality of a leader is be a person of trustworthiness. Because the quality of trust is necessary to succeed. And this is something which lacks in a lot of organizations. And this is something which people actually miss. They actually miss this. Organizations, they and this is something organizations has to look for when they hire people, especially when they're hiring people for leadership position. They should look for integrity in the person. There's no assessment in the world which can check the integrity of. They can check your leadership quality. They can check your IQ, right? But selecting a person for a job without checking the integrity of a person is waste. You can have all the skill, but if you're not a person of integrity, you will become a manipulator. And when you're a manipulator and you've been made to sit in the leadership position in the company, then that's the worst thing for any company. And that's the worst thing for any country. Imagine a leader in a country who is not a person of integrity. That person is a manipulator. That person is a liar. That person is a cheater. Think about a person like that. That's the worst. That's a doomsday for the country. Yeah. So it's the same with organization. It's the same with family. Let's say your father is not a person of integrity. Let's say your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend is not a person of integrity. Do you trust the person? What will happen to the relationship? Right? So leadership, the second most important quality of leadership is integrity. So if you want to be a good leader, if you want to become leaders, then the second quality which you have to develop is honesty, integrity. Okay. And the third thing, be a person of empathy. This is very important. You know what is empathy? Empathy is not sympathy. Let me tell you something. Now, you see a dog on the road, okay, or let's say you're walking on the road and a dog bites a person, okay, or you go on the road and there's a person who met with an accident, who had an accident. You look at the person and say, poor guy, he had an accident, and you don't stop your bike, you don't stop your car to help the person, but you say, poor guy had an accident. And if you're going, you are actually sympathizing with the person. Okay. What is empathy is you see an accident, you immediately stop, you go to help the person, you know you take the person to the hospital. You don't have to even do that. You can at least call the ambulance, right? And make the person put in the ambulance and take, send the person to the hospital. That even that is fine. But what is empathy? Empathy is feeling what the other person is feeling. Empathy is putting yourself in the shoes of others, right? Empathy is, you know, you look at the person and say, I understand, but then I'm not going to say, see, a lot of times, it happens. Uh, you guys might have, you might have an experience calling the customer care. Yeah. When you call the customer care, sometimes, they don't troubleshoot your problems, but then they'll tell you, sir, I understand your problem, but then I can't help you. What do you mean by you understand my problem, but you can't help me? First of all, that is not empathy. Now, and I tell people in the customer service, if you understand my problem, help me. I'm your customer. Don't say you understand my problem and don't tell me you can't help me. Yeah, and don't call the department customer service without helping the customer. You're only serving the organization, right? So empathy is knowing the pain of the people, putting yourself in their shoe before judging them, before criticizing them, before rejecting them, before saying you're useless to them. Yeah, you put yourself in their position, in their place, right? And then seeing with their eyes. Yeah, that is what is called empathy. So if you want to be a good leader, if you want to become a good leader, the third important skill you have to develop is empathize. And that's the reason I'm telling you, I have worked with a lot of companies. I have seen leaders, I've seen managers, right? When I say leaders and managers, I'm talking about I'm talking about positions. Okay. Now, people at the topmost position, I've seen a lot of people in the topmost position. They are so humble. They were so humble. But people at the lower level, mid-lower level, they exhibit a lot of arrogance. But people at the top, they show a lot of empathy. They show a lot of care. Yeah, they are so humble. Yeah, why? And that is what has taken them to that level. So if you want a leader, develop this character of empathy. Empathy is the ability to relate and connect with people, right? Putting yourself in their shoe and seeing the world through their eye and helping them. The fourth important quality is delegate. Delegation is the fourth important quality of a leader. Now, we I can do all things. True, but I can't do all things. That is also true. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? I can do all things. At the same time, I can't do all things. So a leader knows the distinguishing. Now, a leader knows how to distinguish between these things. A leader does not do everything. A leader is a person who knows how to delegate. Yeah, a leader is a person who knows what tasks to give to which person. A boss gives the task to all the poor people and say, you have to do it no matter what. I don't care. I don't bother whether you're able to do it or not, whether you're skilled or not. All I want is by EOD, I want this done. By Saturday, I want this done. By Sunday, I want this done. By Monday, I want this done. They give you a deadline. But a leader makes a big impact. He knows or she knows to delegate. So, what does a leader do? A leader finds out the potential candidate. If a person is capable of marketing, he will give that marketing to that guy. So if a guy is capable of making presentation, yeah, if a person is capable of making good presentation, a leader will delegate that task to that person. If a person is capable of doing Excel work better, a leader will give that task to that person. So though a leader can do a lot of things, a leader, yeah, he delegates work to a lot of people, and especially people who are capable of doing it right and doing great than him or her, right? So a leader identifies your skill set, your potential, and a leader will delegate the right task to the right candidate. That's the role of a leader. So if you want to be a leader, delegate the task right. Try to have that eye for finding the right candidate for the right job. But a manager does not do that. A manager just allocates a task, irrespective of whether the person can do it or not do it. A manager would just allocate it, but a leader delegates it, not allocate, right? And when the person does it well, a leader gives the credit to that person. A leader would say, that person, in my last session, I told you my story. My leader did that to me. He could have nominated himself as a CEO club for the CEO club award, but he nominated me, and out of 2,500 nominations, 50 people were chosen in the entire organization, and I was one among the 50, right? And I was given, he would delegate me the right job, and that's why I was able to perform. Yeah, that's a leader. So, four important things, guys. If you want to be a good leader in your life, start developing these characters, these qualities. One, be a person of vision. Two, be a person of integrity. Three, be a person of empathy. And four, be a person of delegation. Find the right candidate and delegate the task to the person. Okay. So we have seen three things today. Yeah. Let me quickly recap. The first thing we saw is leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. So if you want to be a person of influence, then you have to be a person of inspiration. Then if you want to be if you want to give inspiration to people, you need to be passionate about what you're doing. How can you be passionate? You can be passionate when you have vision. And how can you have vision? You can have vision only when you have conviction. And how will you get conviction? Only when you know your purpose in life. Gandhiji knew the purpose in life, freedom of India. And what was the conviction? No man is a slave to another man. That was the conviction, right? And that gave him the vision, that made him to be passionate, that made him to inspire people, and that made him to be influential. Can you imagine somebody sitting in in one part of India was able to influence the rest of India or the entire India? Yeah, and that too in the era when we didn't have social media, right? So influence is very important. And second thing, we learned about how to build influence. So to build influence, build rapport, be a listener, be slow to speak, and fast to listen, not hear, listen. And third thing, commit yourself to your team. Their welfare is important. You have to protect your team. You have to protect your people. That person is a leader. Otherwise, that person will become a dictator. And the fourth thing is be focused. And what are the qualities you should develop? There are a lot of qualities, but four important qualities which I see is important. One, be a person of vision. Two, be a person of integrity and honesty. And three, be a person of empathy, empathize with people, and be a person who delegates work to people. Now, at last, a leader is a dealer in hope. This is what Napoleon Bonaparte said. A leader is a dealer in hope. If you're not someone who is giving hope to people, if people are afraid of you, if people when they see you, they don't see hope in the future. If their future is hopeless, then you're not a leader. A leader is someone who is a dealer in hope, who gives hope to people. Remember that, my friends. Yeah, I'm quick. I'm ready to take the questions. Right? Next 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm ready to take questions. You can post your questions now. Yeah. Can you give me please ask your questions. I'm ready to take the questions. Any questions? I'm ready to answer. We'll spend another 10 minutes on that. Thank you, Mahendra. Thank you very much. Manohar, what have been Vipin? This is the first webinar on leadership. Matthew, Matthew, this is for 3 days. We're doing it. We have started it today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. From today till Friday, 7 p.m. Thank you, Salman. Okay, how to find your purpose in life? Um, Amita, see, everybody who has come to this world has a purpose. Amita, everybody who has come into this world has a purpose. So what I want you to do is take a note of, do an audit of your desires. Do an audit of your desires, right? Now, take a notepad, pencil, and list down all your desires, what you wanted to do in as a child. What do you want to do as a teenager? Or, you know, think of what makes you emotional. Now, for me, my purpose in life is to encourage people, is to inspire people. I want to motivate people. That's what I feel like my purpose. Yeah, that's why I put like emotion turnaround expert. If somebody is emotionally down, I would like to, without any judgment, without any criticism, I accept the person as they are, and I'll try to help them. Yeah. So you need to have an encounter. Gandhiji had an encounter. For him, he was thrown out of the train, right? And he was thrown out of the train. That's when something struck him. He felt this is bad. And when he felt this is bad, he decided this has to change. Now, ask yourself the question, what do you want to change? What is that one thing that you want to change? Ask yourself that question, and you will know your purpose. You'll find your purpose. Okay. All right. Any other question? Yes, Sandeep. Leadership is a character. Leader is a character. You need character to be a leader. Yeah, it's a character. But without you cannot uh, you know be a person of influence without a character. That's what I'm saying. You can be a bad influence or you can be a good influence. Yeah, but both ways you're a leader. You can influence people in a bad way if your convictions are wrong, if your beliefs are wrong, if your passion is wrong, then you will lead people, inspire people, influence people in the wrong way. But if your convictions are right, right, if your vision is right, if your passion is right, then you'll inspire people in the right way. You'll influence people in the right way. Yep. Okay, Subhab Emmanuel. Sir, it was said that a leader must lead on. Oh, Emmanuel, see, there's nothing wrong in having bodyguards to protect yourself. Okay. Uh, there are a lot of leaders who've been assassinated, good leaders, been assassinated by bad leaders who influenced somebody to kill that person. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. A good leader will bring in good to the world. A bad leader will bring in bad to the world, right? But both person are influencers. Both are capable of influencing, right? So a good leader certainly should have uh, protection if needed. Nothing wrong in that. Um, thank you, sir. Thank you, Srisha. Santosh, what is the quality of a person to take all followers if a situation is negative first? What is the quality of Santosh? I'm trying to understand the question. I'm sorry about it. What is the quality of a person to take all the followers if a situation is in negative? Santosh, could you please paraphrase? I'm not able to understand the question. I'm sorry, mate. Really sorry. I'm not able to understand the question. Avidash, tell me, Avidash, what do you want to hear? What do you want me to hear, Avidash? Okay, Pradesh, a very good evening. A small doubt in having leadership qualities. How can I able to differentiate good and bad? Okay, good. See, Avidash, you have to consider people. That's what I say. A leader is someone who's empathetic. A leader is someone who considers others, who tries to help others. Okay. Now, uh, you have to look at holistically. You have to look at if I do something, is this going to bring good to people or this is going to bring bad to people? Right? That's the question you have to ask yourself. As a leader, your decision is it going to, that's why I said be empathetic. Put yourself in the person's shoe. Yeah. See the world through their eye. Now, if you're taking, see, both bad leaders and good leaders believe in some cause. They both have some conviction. But a bad leader is not, is ready to kill. He's not bothered to kill people for his ideologies. But a good leader will not do that. Yeah. Why we remember Gandhiji? We remember Gandhiji because see, nothing personal, right? But then why we have made him the father of a nation is because you know the method he adopted. He adopted ahimsa. He adopted non-violent movement. So he was ready to get the beating, but then he was not able to beat the other person. That's the difficulty. That could be a foolish thing, but that is the most difficult thing to handle by your opponent. Imagine I keep on beating you and you don't respond, you don't retaliate. I'll get tired. I'll get upset. But if I'm beating you, you beat me back. Yeah, I will have vengeance. I will plot to do something bad for you. But if I'm beating you again and again and you don't retaliate at all, I will give up. So empathize with people. That's very important. See the world through the eyes of people. Put yourself in their shoe. That's the important thing as a leader. Okay. Attendance link. There is no attendance link. How a leader can handle his team by which type things. See, RK Entertainment. Again, I'm telling you. Yeah. Build rapport. Build rapport with the team. Okay. Let me give you an example. Whenever I go to a new place, when I go to a new company, right? This is something which I did. Uh, I'll take my team members, my colleagues for coffee, tea, or we go for outing, right? And when I take my team member out or when I take people out, I will be, when I take them first time, I'll be the first person to pay the bill. I will not let my team member pay the bill. I will pay for their coffee, I'll pay for their tea, or I'll pay for the food, right? And I will not let them pay. I'm talking about the first time, okay? I'll tell you why. When you do that for the first time, when you let people pay, when you pay for somebody's food, yeah, when you're the first time, that's the time you have met, that's the time you're building a rapport. And when you, without any intention, without anything, you're ready to pay for the food or buy something for them, people actually fall for you. And the next time they will not allow you to pay. Yeah. And RK, this is what RK Entertainment, this is what I would tell. Build rapport with their team members, empathize with them, try to find their need, try to understand the problem, try to help them. We always listen to their concerns, spend time talking to them. As a leader, spend time talking to them, try to find what they're saying, listen first, speak later. A lot of times, as managers, what people do is they're fast to speak and they don't listen, fast to speak. So, one quality, if you want to build a good team, build rapport. How can you build rapport? By listening to them and empathizing with them. Okay. Okay. Um, Kalidas, I don't know why, but I like. Thank you, Kalidas. I like you too. Thank you very much. Um, Ashish, there are many situations when you feel someone but can't do anything. Does it mean it's a fake empathy? No, no. So that's Ashish. Maybe we have to talk about the situation. I can't really. This is a broad statement. But then that's why I told you there are two things. One is sympathy, one is empathy, right? A leader is someone who does not try to protect himself or herself. A leader is someone who's ready to lay down the life for the cause they believe in. Okay. Now, if you see something wrong is happening for people, defend. That's a leader. Don't just sympathize. Feel the pain, empathize with them. And if you're the person, what will you do for the person? Do that for the person. Okay. So you had to ask yourself this question: are you empathizing or are you sympathizing? But if we connect personally, I can help you in this more in this. Yeah. Without knowing much of the background of the situation or what you're telling in the chat, I won't be able to give you an insight. Thank you, Vasanti. Thank you very much. How to avoid distraction, Muthu? Okay. How to avoid distractions, discipline. Okay, Muthu. Okay. This is Muthu. This is a time management thing which you're talking about. Muthu, go to my earlier video on time management. I think it is there in YouTube, right? Try finding that video in Pantech Solution website. You'll find it. Pantech Solutions YouTube channel. You'll find it. If not, this is my trick. Plan your day a day before, right? Choose only 2 activities or 3 activities for next day. Choose only or list down 10, make 10 list out of the 10 things which you have to do tomorrow, right? Choose the top 3 things or top 2 things and only focus on this top 2 or top 3. Don't focus on everything. Leave the rest of the 7. Focus on the top 2, top 3. Follow the 80-20 rule. Focus on your priority top 2 tasks out of the 10 tasks which you want to do tomorrow. Focus on the top 2. That's enough. Yeah, and you will be you will not get distracted. The reason why one reason why you're getting distracted is you're focusing on a lot of stuff. That could be the reason. But again, I won't be able to uh, help you further because without knowing what you're going through, I won't be help you to further help you. But try this. Take You can list 10 tasks. Out of the 10 tasks, choose the top 2 tasks and only do that the next day. Focus all your energy on the 2 tasks. That's enough. Okay. Uh, okay. I would like to answer your questions, guys, but time's up. Okay. Oh, there are a lot of questions. Oh my God. Oh my God. There are a lot of questions. Okay. Maybe then tomorrow I have to have a half an hour Q&A session. I should reduce my speaking time and I should focus on. Oh my, there's a lot of questions you guys have asked. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Super. So, guys, I'm sorry. Let's stick to time. Time is very important. That's the important commodity. Your time is precious. My time is precious. So let's stick to time. I'm sorry, I've not answered your questions. There are a lot of questions I have not answered. There is no attendance link, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Uh, this is a webinar. This is an information session. So if you're registered for it, you will get it. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we'll start and we're going to talk about leadership styles. If you want to find out what is your leadership style, please, mine is a servant leader. I'm a supportive leader, right? So if you want to find out what is your leadership style, do join tomorrow's session where I'll help you find your leadership style. Okay? All right. See you guys. Take care. God bless you. Thanks for joining.